Welcome back to Wood Carving Artists. Today you're about to witness not one but two breathtaking dragon sculptures, each carved from solid wood by the hands of an extraordinary Asian craftsman. From the fast roaring chainsaw cuts to the finest delicate details, these two legendary beasts are born from pure artistry and unstoppable passion. If you love the magic of wood carving, hit like, subscribe, and let's dive straight into this epic double journey. Right here, we see a raw, rugged block of wood, untouched, heavy, full of natural cracks and veins. The craftsman carefully studies every line, every curve of the grain, imagining the dragon hidden inside. At this moment, the future masterpiece is nothing more than a heavy, rough stone waiting to be awakened. Now the chainsaw rose to life. An artist is cutting boldly into the wood, slicing off large chunks to find the form hidden within. Each movement is powerful but controlled. Every cut is calculated. You can almost feel the tension as the chainsaw carves the first outlines, breathing life into the sleeping figure. Let's look closely now. The rough shape is beginning to emerge. Deep grooves mark where the dragon's body and head will be defined later. Even though it's still raw and unpolished, you can already sense the flow, the energy trapped inside the wood. This is the most exciting part, when imagination first meets reality. The work begins as the artist delicately carves into the rough wooden surface, focusing on shaping the fierce horn of the dragon. Each movement is careful, almost like a conversation between the tool and the wood, finding the natural flow hidden inside the block. The raw texture slowly gives way to detailed ridges, hinting at the wild energy and spirit that this dragon will embody. Sense of wisdom. As the carving progresses, the power tools come into play, revealing the intricate twists and turns of the dragon's emerging form. You can see how the once heavy, chaotic mass of wood now transforms, little by little, into something alive. The horn sharpening, the curves of the muscles tightening, the surface growing more dynamic with every pass. There's a tension between the rugged strength of the wood and the refined vision the artist has in mind. Moving to the next stage, the details are refined even further. The dragon's scales begin to catch the light, each tiny cut giving depth and realism to the creature. The horn now looks fierce and proud, the flowing lines of the body blending strength and grace. Wood chips fly in all directions as the artist carves with both force and incredible precision. It's in this moment you can truly feel the heart of craftsmanship, pure focus, raw talent, and a deep connection to the material. As we move deeper into the carving process, you can see the artist is carefully defining the dragon's head. Each curl of the beard, each layered scale is brought to life with such precision. The wood dust raining down makes it feel like the dragon is emerging from a storm. Look closely at the second shot. Power tool glides over the surface, but the movements are never rushed. The craftsman is not just removing wood, he's revealing the spirit hidden inside it. The twists of the mane and the sharp flow of the horns show an incredible attention to energy and movement. And now, in the third image, the dragon's expression starts to take shape. Fierce, majestic, like it could leap off the wood at any moment. Every ridge and groove follows a natural rhythm. reconnecting the creature to the flow of the clouds around it. The raw wood is transforming into a masterpiece before our eyes. The deeper into the carving we go, the more intense the wood's natural waves seem to dance beneath the artist's tool. Each movement of the hand brings a new curl to life, softening the wild rawness into flowing, deliberate shape. It's like the spirit of the dragon is slowly waking up inside the wood, twisting, stretching, fighting to break free, now shifting to a fresh section. A rough, thick knot of wood is tackled head-on. You can almost hear the deep rumble of the grinder as it shapes away the outer layers, revealing hidden patterns, textures, and energy beneath. It's fascinating to watch how even the messiest, gnarled pieces hold incredible potential when seen through the eyes of a master. And now, back to the intricate details. The artist's fingers move with even greater precision. Tiny grooves are carved along the dragon's scales, the horns, the flowing mane. Each fine line adds a layer of realism, giving this mythical creature a fierce yet majestic soul. It's breathtaking how, from such rough beginnings, something so beautiful and alive is born. Really getting into one of the most satisfying parts of the carving process. Right now, the artist is using a powerful rotary tool to smooth the surface around the dragon's head. Each sweeping motion removes tiny ridges from the earlier rough shaping, and you can already feel the fluid motion starting to emerge from the wood. Switching to a finer polishing head. Here, precision is everything. The tool glides gently across the dragon's carved horns and facial ridges, erasing imperfections and bringing out the natural flow of the design. And now, for the ultimate detail work. A micro-carving tool is being used to etch the texture onto the dragon's skin. Every scale, every bump, every tiny fold of wood is being carefully touched. This gives the dragon its lifelike fierceness and incredible realism. You can almost hear it breathing through the tempera. Finally, we're zooming right into the dragon's jaw. Look at how those razor-sharp teeth are carved one by one. Each fang is individually detailed to give the creature a powerful, ferocious bite. This is where patience, skill, and vision come together to transform a piece of wood into a living myth. we're stepping into an incredibly delicate phase. The artist is now using a fine-tipped carving tool, slowly shaping each flowing cloud around the dragon's body. These soft, winding lines require absolute precision, every movement carefully guided by the fingertips. At this moment, you can see him carefully trimming the tiny gaps, gently carving through the wood, creating a natural, floating cloud effect. It almost feels like the clouds are alive, swirling in the air around the dragon, a level of detail only achieved through pure dedication and passion. Moving on, the artist begins working on the dragon's scales. What starts as rough outlines slowly transforms into sharp, intricate textures. Each tiny scale is brought to life, layer by layer, like the dragon is breathing beneath the surface. This is where patience is everything. Every careful stroke brings more depth, more spirit to the piece. And little by little, through each careful touch, the dragon's proud, fierce soul emerges from the wood. An absolutely breathtaking process to witness. If this story touched something in you, if you've ever had to rebuild yourself after life knocked you down, I hope you stay with me. There are so many more stories of survival, of hope, of finding your strength when everything else falls away. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel so you won't miss the next journey we walk through together. Thank you for listening, for sharing this moment with me. Until next time, take care of yourself and remember, you're stronger than you think.